express travel. It is my privilege to introduce our next speaker, Schwarz, the Director of International Operations at Schwarz Medical Center in Jerusalem. Schwarz was born in Copenhagen, Denmark. He moved to Jerusalem and attended the Harry Fisher Institute Rabbinical Seminary. In 1982, he was ordained as a rabbi. He then moved to Finland, where he served as chief rabbi of the Jewish communities of Finland for 5 years. After that, he went to New Zealand, to Auckland, where he was a rabbi and director of Jewish youth education. Rabbi Schwarz joined Shaare Zedek Department of Public Relations upon his return to Israel in 1990. He's an expert in forensic medical photography and preparation for mass casualty events. He is frequently invited as a guest lecturer to many international events, focusing on topics related to Judaism and Israel's war on terror. Most recently, on 9/11, he was the keynote speaker at the Memorial Symposium at NYU's Downtown Hospital in New York. He's also a guest commentator on Danish TV and Radio Sweden. Mr. Rabbi Schwarz speaks at least 6 languages. He is the author of the first finished book on Judaism, and I won't attempt to pronounce the title. On a personal note, Rabbi Schwarz has 3 children, and his wife is the head nurse of the huge department of surgery at Shaare Zedek Medical Center. You see, it's all a family affair. Through his passion for the well-being of the people of Israel, Rabbi Schwarz embodies Shaare Zedek's reputation as the hospital with a heart. Ladies and gentlemen, our Director of International Operations, Rabbi Schwarz.
Shalom and Erev Tov. I permit myself to say shalom from Yerushalayim. I came more or less directly from Yerushalayim to be with you here on this very impressive event tonight. We just finished the Passover celebration a few days ago, so in that spirit we can ask the good old Jewish question, why is this hospital different from all other hospitals? And the answer, we can actually find the answer on the slide here behind me. Because we are probably the only hospital in the world whose name is not only taken from the Bible, there are other hospitals with names from the Bible, but we're probably the only hospital where the name is taken from the Bible and at the same time also is like a mission statement. Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek, avovam odeya. Open to me the gates of righteousness. I will enter into them, and I will give thanks unto the Lord. This is what the whole thing is about when we talk about Sha'arei Tzedek. Sha'arei Tzedek is the gates of righteousness. And we are there in order to help people, in order to cure people. Sehashar la'Adonai tzadikim yavohu bo. This is the gate of the Lord, and the righteous shall enter into it. For us, the patients, they are the righteous. We don't make any difference between patient and patient. Every patient is created in God's image. Every patient is a tzaddik. Every patient is a righteous. I will come back to this so-called slide, the name and mission statement, in a moment. But just to prove the point, by us, coexistence is a reality. We all have different opinions. treating a Muslim child. This picture was taken 1 month after his son was killed by terrorists in Gaza. And yet he went back to work because within the gates of righteousness, within Shari Tzedek, we have our duties. And as I said before, every patient is a tzaddik. As you know, we've had far too much experience with terror. And what we try to do these days is to try to help other people from other places in the world who are less fortunate and who doesn't have the same kind of experience that we unfortunately have collected over the years. We see here some children from the Beslan school. If you remember a few years ago, more than 300 children were killed by terrorists in Russia. And some of the children were brought to Shari Tzedek because, again, unfortunately, we have too much experience. And in more recent times, soldiers from the terrible war in Georgia were brought to Shari Tzedek because, again, we have the experience. So we try to help the world, we try to make the world a better place to be in. Now, we always have to be prepared. That's a part of life in Israel. And we are the hospital in Jerusalem on 24-hour alerts, 365 days a year on chemical and biological warfare. The picture you see here is from one of the drills that we have occasionally. We always have to be prepared. And I dare to say that there is no other medical institution anywhere in the world as prepared as we are for such an incident. It's unfortunately our claim to fame. We can only hope and pray to the Almighty that the kind of pictures that we see here at the moment behind me, that will all only stay within the drill factors as is the case here and not the reality. But a lot of happy things happen at the hospital as well. As a matter of fact, 50% of all babies in Jerusalem are born at Shari Tzedek. That means that next time you come to Jerusalem and you see 2 babies out there, one of them statistically is born at Shari Tzedek. However, not everyone is fortunate to be born as whole, as complete as the baby we just saw. So here you see a sample of a little baby. If you look carefully, you can see on the arms, wedding ring, and engagement ring that actually shows you the real size of the baby. But we are fortunate enough today to have the knowledge and with the help of the Almighty, the expertise to cure babies like the one we see here. And such a baby will, God willing, be as whole and complete as all of us. However, our babies are our future. We are looking towards a brighter and healthier future for Jerusalem's children. So we are now in the midst of building Jerusalem's first children's hospital. A hospital where children will be able to feel at home. A hospital that's not supposed to be like a hospital, but rather a place where children will feel that they can be a part of their compassionate care. This is our campus, and if you take today a map of Jerusalem, when you put your finger right in the middle of the map, you will find Shari Tzedek. We are the most centrally located hospital today in Jerusalem, and if you look carefully at the picture behind me, and if I succeed here with this little gadget I have in my hand, you will see an arrow, and you will see where the new building is going to be of the pediatric hospital that will be named the Wilf Pediatric Hospital. Already now, the first stage is ready, and that is our pediatric emergency room. We have had an increase this last winter of 25% of visits of children to our pediatric emergency room. And if we wouldn't have built this emergency room in time for the past winter, we wouldn't have been able to cure and to care for so many children. And this is only possible with help from people from all over the world like yourselves. We're also very proud to have what I used to call the modern chicken soup. We We all know that there's no better medicine than chicken soup. Now we have realized there is one better medicine, and that is the smile. We have a lot of medical clowns at the hospitals, all professional actors, not only people who put on red noses, but professional actors who get that little smile out of the sick child, even of sick adults, and are part of the curing process. And I want to go back again to my mission statement. Now, Exodus teaches us that the Lord is the healer. And we are only the representatives, if you wish, the messengers of the Lord. And we try to do our job as good as possible, and I'm modest enough to say that we do quite a good job. But we also realize that we are only, in inverted commas, the messengers of God. And we continue where we were before, and we continue with the same quote from the book of Psalms, chapter 118. Odcha ki anitani v'tihili lishua. I will give thanks unto thee, for thou hast answered me, and I'll become my salvation. After people are treated within the Sha'arei Tzedek, within the gates of righteousness, they also realize that they were treated with the help of God, of the Almighty, and therefore, and therefore are they thanking the Lord for everything that He has done for them. And just to finish, I would like to end up with a quote from the Talmud, from the Oral Law. It says that 10 measures of beauty were given to the world. 9 of these went to Jerusalem, and 1 to the rest of the world. Probably San Francisco had quite a share of the rest of the world part. But we believe that we at Sha'arei Tzedek, at the gates of righteousness, are part in the 9 measures of beauty that's given to Jerusalem. When we talk about beauty, it's not only physical beauty, but it also is in deeds, it is in spirit, and here Sha'arei Tzedek certainly has its share and makes its share. I would like to take this opportunity to invite each and every one of you, next time you come to Jerusalem, to come and see for yourself some of the daily miracles that are performed there. We all like to witness miracles. I want you to come and see by yourself some of the miracles that are performed daily at Sha'arei Tzedek. It's a place where you walk in, you don't believe it's a hospital. The atmosphere is not like a hospital. It's a different kind of institution, and everything is based on the Torah, on Jewish law, on everything we have learned